Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Today's Restaurant News networking group at 11 a.m. We are a group of restaurant vendors who are here to help each other grow their businesses and also to help restaurant owners, managers, or chefs with any questions or problems they may have. We invite everybody to give us a call at 561 620 8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com and check out our YouTube channel at Today's Restaurant and subscribe and hit the like button for us. We're trying to build that up so that everybody here gets more benefit. I'm happy to say that our website has been getting tremendous coverage over the last 6 or 7 weeks. A couple of days this week, we were close to 4,000 hits on each day, which was astounding and crazy for us because, as I say, we're not the New York Times. We're a very narrow market, specific industry. So I'm real happy about that. And today we've got some new people here for the first time. I want to introduce them quickly. I'm going to just ask you to, as I introduce you, just tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can reach you. We've got Stephanie and Mark, who are Brilliant Computer Company. They are saved the day, guys, for us this week. Welcome. Tell us about yourself, Stephanie and Mark.
Hi, thank you for having us. Yes, I'm Stephanie Brilliant. This is Mark Brilliant, and we are Brilliant Computers. We're a technology solutions company. We work a lot with online backup and email support. You can reach us at Mark's cell, which is a 561-866-2983. Our website, brilliantcomputers.com, and Mark is our primary contact for the email, which is mark@brilliantcomputers.com, MARK.
Mark, you want to say something?
Just want to thank you for letting us here. We're happy to be part of a larger team. And if you guys need anything technology-wise, we'd be happy to help. And hello, Darren.
Yes, hello,
good to see you again, Mark. Been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, absolutely. Yeah, now I just go into automated system, but it was great for a while. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you for having us.
Next we have Jessica, and I'm gonna give me the last name, Jessica.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Portalatin from Portalatin Law Firm. I am a trademark and business attorney that works with restaurateurs. And I'm happy to be here. You can contact me at 305-702-0195 or at jessica@contractlawmiami.com.
And the type of law that you practice for a restaurant, that would be
trademark registrations. I do trademark registrations and contract law. So if you need to register your logo or the name of your restaurant, or even just have a contract reviewed, that's what I do.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Omar, who I had a great meeting with this week on Zoom. Welcome.
Hey, Howard. Thank you very much for inviting me. Well, my name is Omar Masei. In the gelato, ice cream, frozen dessert industry since 1989. We design and build shops. We sell equipment. We're the Carpigiani South Florida distributors for South Florida. And well, my cell phone number is 305-994-4090. And then my email is oemazzei@baluna.com. Baluna is the company. BALUNA.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. So I guess we'll do our intro so that you can know that who everybody else is. So I might as well start out with John McCabe because I'm sure you know John.
Good morning, everyone. I work closely with Omar. He's doing a great job down there in South Florida. We deal with chains, and we deal directly with a lot of the dealers. So anybody who needs help with frozen desserts, let us know. I'm with Carpet Johnny directly, and we're part of Ollie Group. And I can be reached at 401-368-6406. I am generally down in Florida maybe once a month or every 5 weeks or so. So we can meet directly with your customers if you need them. We're pretty sophisticated in the ice cream and gelato business, and we also do pastry equipment for bakeries. So anything you need, we're available. We also distribute ESA display cases for chocolate, pastry, and ice cream and gelato. So I'm available. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying the program with everybody here. Thanks.
Hey, thank you. All right, let's go to Terry Ark. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Hanging in.
I'm glad to be here. My name is Terry Ark. I own Creative Business Impressions here in Boca Raton, Florida. I am a promotional products distributor. So I help to promote your brand. So I help you to make sure that people remember who you are. Just as an example, this is something a little different than I normally do, but for those who are building construction, these are some pens that are help to promote construction. I hope they show up well. But
I
these
thought
are
it
some
was
pens.
Barbie and Ken.
No, not yet. But I'm sure I can have those too. But anyway, just another idea for anyone that's building. It's great to have for a grand opening, something like that. Anyway, so I've been doing this for 20 years. I can provide all kinds of different things that would have your logo on it. Terry, Creative Business Impressions. My phone number is 561-308-1393. And the rest of my information is in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Terry Lena, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Terry Lena, Workwear Outfitters. I work for a manufacturer. We manufacture multiple lines of workwear apparel. I joined this organization to promote our culinary line. I'm excited. We're going to be launching a brand new line of aprons within the next quarter, so I'm excited to be doing that. I cover from Florida to New York. You can reach me at 720-244-4972. Terry Lena, Workwear Outfitters.
Great, thank you. Gabby, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I am Gabby with Worksite PEO. We are a full-service professional employer organization. What that means is that we are an end-to-end HR back office. We'll take care of all your payroll, taxes, employee health benefits, workers' comp, 401k, HR consultation, and HR matters. From soup to nuts, A to Z, we'll take care of your back office so that you can get back to doing what you do best, what you really got into business for. Gabby with Worksite PEO.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Chris. Good morning.
Good morning. The other two amigos are absent this morning. Mulholland's probably touring the world somewhere, and Kevin had a conflict. So we are strategic supply chain partners. We function as an outsourced purchasing department for our clients. We work with small to mid-market restaurant chains to reduce their purchasing costs by restructuring their distribution agreements with broadline distributors and also going direct to manufacturers to negotiate better pricing that can then be placed in distribution for them. We typically save on the low end about 7.5%, the high end up to 15% for some of our clients. We have a strong presence in South Florida. Kevin Anderson, one of our partners, actually is in Florida, and normally is on his call. Does quite a bit of work in Florida for us. Work well with any distributor out there. We work with all the manufacturers. We are completely independent of both manufacturers and distributors. We work solely for the benefit of our clients. We are 100% contingency based, meaning we only get paid if we actually identify savings and are able to deliver those savings to a client. We never cram anything down a client's throat. It's up to them to decide what business options that are presented to them by a strategic supply chain that they want to take advantage of. We also have a very lucrative referral agreement for referral partners. Basically, they get 10% of our earnings on an account for the entire duration of a distribution agreement that we would put in place with that client. So again, strategic supply chain partners. All our contact information gets posted at the end of the meeting, so I'm not going to bore you all with all of that stuff. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. Darren, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Darren Gull with Tracy.net. We are a communications consulting and solution provider. We're a part of this group to help the restaurant industry with product we came up during COVID, where we eliminate busy signals for restaurants. So we have a great turnkey product. It starts at $85 a month. It includes all the hardware and the phone service. It's a simple one plug into your router and it's up and running. We also do things for all industries related to telecom. We consider ourselves problem solvers. If there's not a problem, we'll let you know there's not a problem. If there is, we'll help you fix it. And Howard, I know how much you love AI, so I wanted to share this with you. I just typed into Chat GPT, come up with a slogan for today's restaurant news. And it came back with feeding your appetite for restaurant insights.
I like that.
Wow, there you go.
So there's your new slogan of the day.
That's funny.
That's great.
And for Tracy, you can reach us at 800-881-8899. You can email us at sales@traci.net, or my personal email is daring@tracy.net or daring@tracy.net. My parents were thinking email when they named me.
Okay, and let's go to John Bunn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Bunn. I'm with the BH Bunn Company. As you can see by the video behind me, we manufacture the string tying machines that bundle up just about anything you can think of, from wood products to foam products. We've been in the bakery industry since the 1930s. It produces a knot that cannot be duplicated by hand. You can see it over my shoulder here. It's a slip-proof slip knot. It's been around 117 years. You can put along the short end and untie it, but you cannot duplicate that knot by hand. So it gives you an instant level of security. As you'll see in the backdrop, my phone number is 1-800-222-BUNN. Our email is info@buntyco.com, and our website is buntyco.com. We are the only American-made machine of its kind. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Howard, I love that.
Yeah, we did an ad for John that we worked on together. Put the skeleton together and gave it to my graphic artist, and he made it look pretty. It's a beautiful ad. John Marinak from the airport, I assume?
No, just getting ready to go.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm switching over to the regular computer right now. So.
Okay, tell us who you are. So.
John Marinak, Marinak Food Service Consultants. We design restaurants, and if you need a restaurant design, we're the people to call. And we know all the codes and everything like that. And we're not a dealer, so it means that we're not really tied in with anybody, no equipment manufacturers or anything like that. So that's a benefit for you because you can go ahead and shop it, and I'm not going to put in different equipment that is good for me. So it's really consulting services, and we do design, and we do stuff all around the world. 954-817-1183. Thank you.
Where are you heading off to?
I got to go over to Central Asia. I'm heading over there. First, I got to stop in Columbus, see my son, and then I'm going to shoot over to Central Asia.
Wow.
Uzbekistan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had my meeting during the week with Omar, who was here. Omar is a distributor for Carpigiani in South Florida. I wanted you two guys to hook up because you might have some people in common that you could talk to.
Yeah, I spoke with John McCabe yesterday.
Yeah, thank you very much, John.
Yeah, no, thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
And now I got you on two screens, John Marinek.
Yeah, I'm just joining. I'm going to shut this one down. I'm going to switch over to the other one.
I'm glad you're here. TRN Terry, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to see all of these faces. We have others missing, but we've got great people here. I welcome all the new people. I have a question for Jessica, just real quick. I have heard that trademark law is like almost the hardest law to do, and it takes the longest. Is that true?
I don't know what they mean by hardest. I think that if you don't know it, just like any other area, I mean, if you throw me to go defend someone in criminal court, it's just not going to happen, right?
No. But I know somebody that is an attorney, and he said he wanted to do trademark law, but it took way longer and it was harder. And, you know, he's pretty bright. So I didn't know why that would involve so much. Anyway,
I mean, it takes long in the aspect for the client because you're dealing with a federal agency. So right now, from start to end to get a trademark, it could take anywhere from a year to 18 months, the whole process. So that's why I usually reach out to anyone that's thinking about franchising to get the ball rolling. You need to start your trademark right away because it's going to take at least 12 months to receive that certificate. So
that should be the first thing they do. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Oh, good. I'm glad I asked because that's really important. And I know a lot of people starting. And coincidentally, that will coincide with what I do, which is the lead reports. I have a monthly lead report that the team puts together. And we work on that actually 6 days a week. And it comes out once a month. And we give a list in an Excel spreadsheet of what's opening, where, about how big it is, does it have a bar, does it have a patio, the owner's name, the owner's phone number, email, anything that's public record. And then there's other places that we go that we can get the information from. You know, you buy sources and places where you can go and get it. And that report usually has for Florida probably about 70 to 80 new leads each month. So that's a yearly report. So 12 reports for what I basically do all day long is hunt and search. Anyways, you can reach me at terry@trnusa.com, which you already know that. Anybody watching that has a place opening wants to let everybody know where you're at. If you need any of our services, we are here for you. This entire group will be able to help you. And if we can't get the answers, we will get them for you from someplace else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to double back now to our new people on the board. Stephanie and Mark, is there anything you'd like to add now that you've seen what we do?
Yes, I see that. Hello there. There is something I just want to bring up as far as technology-wise in the industry that I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of, but I'm sure people have heard of ransomware these days. That's out there. And unfortunately, it's destroying everybody's local backups. So it's kind of important at this point for everyone to really make sure all their systems are backed up in the cloud with retention, meaning that if your initial backup gets destroyed by this ransomware, retention allows you to go back in time to prior to the infection. So, and if anyone does not have online backup and have their backup set up correctly, contact us, let us know, and we can go over and make sure you're protected. Because there's nothing worse than all of a sudden losing 20, 30 years of business, Word docs, pictures, everything will just totally vanish on you.
Yes, and Mark came and did that for us. I just want to let everyone know. And what a difference, because when I go into something in my computer that I don't really go into, it shows it that it's in there, and I didn't see that before. I don't know. That's terrific. Thank you, Mark, for all that. I really appreciate the help. And he does it very quickly. He knows what he's doing.
Thank you.
Yes, we're happy to help.
All right. Otherwise, we actually have another conference call after this. We'd love to stay on, but we'll try and hit you guys next week with this one not in the background behind us. But we're going to cut off. Thank you so much, everyone.
So nice.
Okay.
Good to see you again, Mark.
Okay, take care. Nice seeing you again.
Okay, Jessica, you want to add anything or tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. So again, Jessica Portalatin with Portalatin Law Firm. And what we focus on is we protect restaurateurs from copycats and help them make money off their awesome brands. So as Terry mentioned, trademarks, it takes, when we're talking about how it takes so long. And what happens with restaurateurs is they get so boggled down with the day-to-day operations that they forget to look at the balcony view and look at the future. And so what we help you do is really try to make money without working anymore. So when you have a trademark works for you. So who we're looking to connect with are restaurateurs that are looking to open multiple locations or franchising to make more money off their brand. We can help you do that by registering your trademark. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Omar, you want to double back? You want to add anything?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Howard. Well, if anybody has the idea to place an ice cream shop, gelato shop, frozen dessert, we're the company to go with. We have been in the market since 1989. We have the full know-how. So we design and build and create, basically make happen your idea to come to. We also have service, after sales, maintenance programs for the equipment. If you're already in the business and you have a machine that it's a carbogenetic machine that needs service, we're here to help. We sell parts, and yeah, it's basically it.
Would you consider yourself a full service dealer? Like if I wanted to buy a cooking range, would you be able to do that?
Yeah, no, we actually specialized only in ice cream gelato equipment, and we also sell through dealers. So we want to stay away from those equipment, so we can, we stay neutral to our all dealers. We're not offering any other equipment besides Carpigiani and ISA display cases. So there's no competition. Yeah.
Okay.
In most cases, we'd be able to help you, guide you to the proper dealer, though. If you need help.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
And we also design and build. So we
You muted yourself.
You muted yourself. Can't hear you. You muted yourself.
That's okay. Let him go. Mute.
You're
also teaching us lip reading.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Tell us what you said when we saw your lips moving. All right, we'll go on. I don't know, your volume just disappeared. And you're not on mute now. I don't know what it is. Maybe where you're driving.
Yeah, sorry for that.
There you go. There you
go. Yeah, I'm back. So yeah, I was saying that if we also design and build shops, so we basically create the layout for the space. If somebody has the idea and wants to add also pastry or any other product, we can also add it into the area. It all depends on the menu. So basically follow the menu of the customer, and then we'll design the space to make it happen. All the display cases to make it happen.
Okay, great. Well, I welcome all of you to the meeting. And I want to mention again about the combined meeting on August the 18th at 10 o'clock. That's a one-time new start time for that particular meeting, because we should have well over 25 people participating that day. So we want to get everybody in on time at 10 o'clock on the 18th. I think that'll be fun.
Are we doing a share screen that day, Howard, for a presentation?
Not for any particular company because we have too many people to introduce.
Okay.
Oh, we're still going to play it by ear. I mean, anybody can ask to share the screen at any time if they want to show something. Here we are at the end of July, going into the beginning of August, the dog days of summer. And as soon as we get through August, at least here in Florida, we are going into our traditional show season. And this year, TRN is involved with a show that we have been involved with for well over 20 years, but this year we're going to be exhibiting for the first time, and it's the America's Food and Beverage Show at the Miami Beach Convention Center. This is on September the 18th. Now, this show is put on by the World Trade Center, and it's, well, at least in the years that I went to walk the show, was a very large show. There were at least 600 exhibitors and thousands of people. And the people that come to this show traditionally are from, well, as the show says, the Americas, Central and South America, North America, and Europe this year, and Asia. It's a tremendous show. What their idea was this year to try and start a restaurant section. I don't know if it's gotten traction yet, but I did tell them that a lot of people in the restaurant industry will come this year to walk the show and see what it's all about and make a decision for next year based on what they see this year. So I encourage you, if you're in the area, to come down and take a look at that show, especially if you're looking to expand your business to outside of the United States. Then in the beginning of November, November the 8th, we have the Florida Restaurant Lodging Show up in Orlando, which this year for the second time is in conjunction with the Pizza Tomorrow Expo. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a permanent situation because the company that runs the show owns both of those shows, so they probably will merge.
And we have a booth at both of those shows, by the way.
So I was going to say, if you do come to the show and you want to walk the show, use our booth as a home base, feel free to do that. Darren did that last year. John Bunn did that last year. And we were busy in the booth.
Oh, the booths are always packed. And I think this year it's going to be a 10 by 20 instead of a 10 by 10. I think I requested a larger, I'm not sure. I'll have to call and find out because there's just too many people. We couldn't get everyone in the booth. And we know a lot of people. So they stopped by and, oh, sorry, my computer.
Yeah, Terry Ark, you had some conversations about getting a booth for the groups.
Yeah, I'm interested in chipping in, if anybody else is interested. So any way I can participate in that, I'm all for it.
Okay, well, we can see who's interested. Maybe I'll put out a little email about it. Jessica won't see it, but we can send it.
Terry, please.
Yeah, I was talking with David a little bit about it, and then he emailed me the other day that he was interested as well. So
yeah, I thought he'd be here today.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to check with him now.
Anyway, from anything else that anybody want to bring up? before we switch gears? Okay. During the week, I do a lot of research and a lot of reading, and I came up with this article that I read, and so I switch into my David Letterman hat, the top 10, but I don't have the staff that David Letterman had with getting information. So he's got a top 10, I've got a top 6. And the writers are on strike, so I took what I could get. Anyway. So what we have, the topic of this article was how to handle an irate customer. Darren is scurrying to chat to see how to do it.
No, I'm not.
As salespeople, and we're all salespeople, whether, in this industry, no matter what we do, we're still salespeople, bottom line. And we've all come across people who can get crazy, who are irate, who just, you can't help them no matter what you do. But there's a way to handle it. And these are the 6 things that they say that you can do to handle it. And I always say that if these 6 things don't work, it may be time to walk away. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But the first thing that they suggest on how to handle an irate customer is to listen to the customer. Let them tell you the story. Let them tell you why they're annoyed, and pay attention to what they're saying. Number 2 would be put yourself in the customer's place to build some empathy, so they know you have some empathy for what their position is. Number 3 is to ask questions. You want to ask them questions as to why what happened, how did it happen, just to get to know the details. The next one would be suggest alternatives. There's always a second way or a different way to do something, and a way around it that would make them happy and make you happy as well. And here's the important one. And I always put this to a manager in a restaurant, to apologize. Because if the customer is right, you can apologize. And you can apologize in many different ways. Especially in a restaurant, you can offer them a cocktail, offer them a dessert, offer them a return trip. There's all kinds of ways to apologize. And of course, the last one would be to solve the problem. Because sometimes the customer's right. Well, the customer is always right, but not always, if you know what I mean. So solving the problem will allow you to avoid any kind of a situation like that down the road. So that's my 6. And if anybody has any comments on that, or maybe some additional ways to placate a irate customer.
I was going to, Howard, comment on option 1. Not only listen to what the customer says, but when they're done speaking, basically have to validate, heard what they said. And then I also go a step further and say, is there anything else you'd like to share beyond that? Because you want them to get everything out. I mean, it's kind of, sadly, it's kind of like working with toddlers. You have to get them to completely defuse, of their frustration, and let them get everything out. And then when they're done, you say, would it be okay if I spoke to what you just said? And then go on and, give them the power in the conversation, because that's what they want, is they want the power and control, and to be acknowledged, that you're actually hearing what they're saying. And then I usually repeat back, so what I'm hearing is, and if we could fix that by doing this, would that be acceptable? Or what do you see as a reasonable compromise? So it's all about, giving them the power in the conversation, and that tends to defuse people very quickly.
That's a great answer. That is a great answer.
Has anybody come up against any irate customers? that,
no, nobody has.
Yes. More so irate parents in robotics, because everybody's kid should be a driver, everybody's kid should be the captain of the team, and so you have to use parents. It's more time spent with parents than there is with the kids.
Well, I used to be a national sales manager in California for a restaurant equipment company, so I did a lot of trade shows, buying group shows, traveled, hired reps, things like that. At trade shows, we were never allowed to sit. You had to stand in the booth, and the bosses were very, very tough. They didn't want anybody to walk by without you pulling them in. So if somebody came in and they wanted something and you didn't have it, we had to offer them something else. Now, I would tell the boss, the only thing you can't overcome is if they can't afford it. You can't overcome that. There's no answer for that.
He did.
If they need it, if there's room, and we used to sell those hanging strip curtains, and we used to sell restaurant equipment, and the boss would be furious if I didn't make a sale. And I turned around and I would tell him, I'm going to follow them and I will bring them back. And I did. And most of the time I got the sale and they were extremely happy. But Darren's advice is basically exactly what you do. That, it couldn't have been put any better.
Yeah, the one other thing I'd add to that I left out is never throw an employee under the bus. So basically your employees, you have to stand behind your employee, and the failure didn't happen by a person, it happened by the organization, and you use those as training moments, moving forward with your staff. So you want to stand behind your employee, but find peace with the customer and then address it with the employee in private afterwards.
Oh yeah, the managers stand and scream in the restaurants at the waiters, and that's horrible.
You can't do that.
Terry Ark, you have a comment?
Yeah, I want to add to what Darren has said about asking questions, because if you have somebody that's irate and they're going off on the reason that they're irate, if you have to pay really close attention, because if you ask them a question that they've already told you, that could make it worse.
Right.
So his comment about reiterating, making sure that I understand what your issue is so that I can solve the problem. I used to deal in customer service. It was over the phone. So an irate customer that's just you can't calm down, you can tell them, when you calm down, call me back. I'm here for you. But when you have somebody in person, that's a lot more difficult. So the listening part is so, so important, and apologizing for, the problem is a major thing as well.
Well, you can use it as a learning experience too. If the customer is irate and they have a valid point, and there's something lacking in your procedures, then you learn from that experience.
I know in my own personal situation, when I'm a customer, if something wasn't handled right, I will tell, as frustrated as you can get, I will tell the person, I would like you to give feedback to your owner that this problem exists and they need to do it a different way,
They won't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Most of the time they don't, but me, as being in the positions that I've been in my entire business life, the things don't change unless somebody in management knows about it. So,
well, when they're yelling, lower your voice.
Yeah.
Lower your voice. That forces them to lower their voice, and it actually calms them down without them even realizing it. And I've used that method so many times, and it does work.
You don't use it with me.
Well, you deserve it.
The funniest thing is that it really sounds like we're talking about how should we deal with children.
It is.
This is a parenting class, it'd be the same tactics. So I think it's hilarious.
Go stand in the corner.
Yeah, Chris.
Nose to the wall.
Howard, surprisingly, you picked another topic I could go on for hours about.
Yeah, sure.
So, most of my background in the restaurant business, being a manager, being an area director, a regional, a CEO, et cetera, I've dealt with this at every level. As a CEO, you handle 5 or 6 complaints a year, and if it got to me, it means the entire organization failed. But a couple of things that I would add: timeliness, and first of all, we're talking about irate customers. The customer gets irate because it's already taken too long for a response. The frontline employee who first engages with the customer has the opportunity to make it right or wrong. If they don't do that, we've already escalated the situation.
Right.
And as it goes up the chain of command, by the time it gets to the owner, it is blown completely out of proportion. So recognizing the problem at the earliest possible moment, where it's a simple, my steak's underdone, can be resolved like that. So timeliness is number one. And second, the thing people most want when they're complaining is to be validated. You're hearing me. We've kind of touched on that. They want to be listened to. I would add a couple other things though. Okay. What I used to tell my restaurant operators was, our punishment has to fit the crime. So whatever we did, it can't just be a cocktail. If it's Mother's Day and you screwed up grandma, mom, 3 daughters who have kids, a whole family, sometimes it's buy the whole table. Sometimes it's buy the whole table and give the whole family. I mean, this is like disaster scenario, but everybody gets a dinner pass to come back. My rule with my restaurant managers was, whatever you do, you have to be able to guarantee me we will have that customer back in your restaurant and they're happy with the solution. So flip side of the coin.
Good point.
Flip side of the coin. This is my own personal experience. I will not mention the name of this airline, but it's one of the major airlines in this country. I took a trip. On the return, we're in a certain very large airport in a very large state, slightly west of Louisiana, and saw my luggage on a cart. On the cart, it had the little placard where they write what airport it's going to. I hear the door to the luggage compartment close. I call a flight attendant over and say, that's my luggage on that cart. Why isn't it in this plane? Sorry, we got to go. Okay, great. We pull out to the tarmac. We're waiting in line to take off. I call another one over and said, our luggage is sitting back there. That's a whole cart full of luggage for people on this plane. They basically told me it was impossible. Even went as far as talked to the pilot, said we would never make that mistake. So we land at our destination. I go immediately to the baggage claim. None of the luggage is there. Half the people on the plane don't have their luggage. Go over to the office where you're supposed to report lost luggage and get told, oh, that happens to us all the time out of that airport. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. So that's the answer you're going to give me. Then they say, oh, it'll be on the next plane. You can hang out here. So it's a sunny night in an airport that's not fairly busy. You can hang it out here till your luggage comes back. Okay, great. This continues because I never once got, we're sorry, never once got, you might be wrong. Then the best part, and this is what kills me about companies and dealing with complaints. You can't talk to a human being. You have to type something into some garbage message thing. And I'm typing and typing and typing and typing. And finally the thing goes, you've run out of characters. So I'm backspace. And I say, there's a whole lot more to this story. You need to call me. I never got a phone call. I never got an acknowledgement of clearly a mistake they made that I reported that they could have simply opened a door, put the rest of the luggage on and taken off. They never did it. And to my point about the punishment has to fit the crime, what I got after 2 weeks of dealing, including telling them I'm a CEO in the service industry. I know what customer service is all about. This is terrible customer service. Yeah. I got a $50 coupon to fly on their airline again. So the last message I sent them was, thank you very much, but you can keep the coupon because I will never fly your airline again. And it is sad that way too often, too many companies take something as critical as customer service and they put it to an automated phone line or one of these. What I love now is the websites where you have the digital chat, but you never get to talk to a human being.
Yeah, no, it's digital.
Too often, you're not acknowledged for a legitimate complaint. I never got an I'm sorry through that entire incident. And it's beyond comprehension. That's the way
I had a situation last week, and this is not to self-praise, but this is the way I handle certain things. One of the people in the group at 9 o'clock contracted with us to do an email blast, and before I send out an email blast, I put a link to the website in the email blast, and I checked everything before I sent it out. And it was all okay. It was all fine. And we sent it out, and it got tremendous response. I mean, the most response I've ever seen on an email blast. And for whatever reason, I went to his website to check it out, and it wasn't working. So all those hits that he got were going into cyberspace. So I didn't want it wasn't my fault. It wasn't his fault, but I felt that I wanted him to be happy with what he was getting. So I reproduced it for him and did it again for him at no charge. And I called him, telling him his website wasn't working, so he knew about it, and he took steps to correct it, and I ran it for him again. So I solved the problem. I want to catch it like you said at the beginning. Because if I didn't do anything, and it would have been bad. Especially to waste all those good leads.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and you know what else? If you just say you acknowledge you're right. And by the way, Howard, you also said something. Customer's not always right, but their perception of what they think sometimes going on, you'll never change. So you have to accept that fact. But for a lot of times, at the earliest possible moment, you recognize it's a problem. That simple apology and fix it costs you nothing, and they'll tell that story forever. I've been telling this airline story for 10 years now. It's my number one horrible customer service story that I share with restaurant companies all the time. Don't ever do this, because I learned this 40 years ago at Steak and Ale Bennigan's. For every customer that says something good about you, the one with the complaint tells 10 people.
100%.
And even before the internet, viral negativity, word of mouth negativity spreads way faster than what people do right. You have to bust your butt to solve complaints and solve the mistake and own your mistakes.
I was putting together an article. I was putting together an article recently for one of my social media accounts, and because I had experienced problems with customer service from other people. And one of the points that I found, I did a little research on it. Warren Buffett made this comment about how that one person could ruin a 20-year career if you do not handle the problem. You could have a wonderful 20-year career, business growing, all that, and you could have one bad thing could mess that all up.
Yeah, I always said that if you do something right, they might tell one person. If you do something wrong, like Chris said, they'll tell 10 or more. I mean, they'll just continue to tell that story of the problem, and that's just human nature. And also to what Chris said, to that person, perception is their reality. So whether you want to try and change it or not, their perception is their reality. And you can tell them it's wrong all you want, but until you convince them why that's not the way it is, and in a very delicate manner, you lose the battle. Like I said, it's hard sometimes. You just have to swallow your pride and just say, hey, I understand. What we did really wasn't that bad, but to them it was, and figure out a solution that's amenable to them.
Yeah, well, we've come to the end of the meeting. People are jumping to get to other meetings, so I appreciate everybody's comments. Jessica, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I guess it was just a really short. If you haven't heard of Horst Schulze, he's he was the founder of the Ritz-Carlton, and he talks about this topic a lot. He talks about excellence in customer service, which is what the Ritz-Carlton, is known for. Mm-hmm. So if you want to listen to a podcast, he has great. He covers this topic greatly. He also has a book regarding excellence in what you do. So I highly recommend it. That's all.
That's
okay.
Good.
Well, thank
you.
You
need to check that out. Absolutely.
Again, thank you all for coming. Have a great weekend. Jessica, great to see you. Thanks for coming. Hope you'll join us. And wish you all a good weekend. Good luck. And if you want to get in touch with us out there, give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website, trnusa.com. And hopefully we'll see you all next week.